The Al-Aqsa Mosque, nestled within the Old City of Jerusalem, stands as one of the holiest sites in Islam, revered for its historical and religious significance. This sacred structure has a rich and complex history that spans over a millennium, intertwining with the stories of empires, religions, and cultures. To delve into the history of Al-Aqsa Mosque is to embark on a journey through the ages, from its origins in early Islamic history to its role as a focal point of contention in the modern era. Origins and early history. The story of Al-Aqsa Mosque begins in the 7th century CE, during the time of the Prophet Muhammad and the rise of Islam. In the year 610 CE, Muhammad received the first revelations of the Quran in Mecca, marking the beginning of his prophethood. Over the following years, he preached the message of Islam, facing opposition from the Quraysh tribe in Mecca. In 622 CE, seeking refuge and a place to establish a community of Muslims, Muhammad and his followers migrated to Yathrib, later known as Medina. Medina became the center of the growing Muslim community, where Muhammad built the first mosque of Islam, known as the Prophet's Mosque, Masjid al-Nabawi. However, despite the significance of Medina, Muslims continued to face challenges, particularly from the Quraysh in Mecca. The struggle between the early Muslims and the Quraysh culminated in the conquest of Mecca by Muslim forces in 630 CE. Following the conquest, Muslims were able to establish their presence in Mecca and its surroundings. It was during this time that the direction of the Muslim Qibla, the direction Muslims face during prayer, was changed from Jerusalem to Mecca, symbolizing the newfound strength of Islam in its birthplace. The night journey and ascension. The turning of the Qibla towards Mecca did not diminish the significance of Jerusalem in Islamic tradition. The foundations for the sanctity of Jerusalem, particularly the area known as the Haram al-Sharif, the noble sanctuary, were laid during a miraculous event in the life of the Prophet Muhammad known as the Isra and Miraj. According to Islamic tradition, in the year 620 CE, the Prophet Muhammad was transported miraculously from Mecca to Jerusalem during a single night, riding on the mythical winged creature known as Al-Buraq. This journey, known as the Isra, took him to the site of the Al-Aqsa Mosque, where he led other prophets in prayer. From there, he ascended through the heavens in the Miraj, meeting various prophets and eventually encountering Allah. The night journey and ascension solidified the spiritual importance of Jerusalem in Islam. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, referred to in the Quran as the farthest mosque, Al-Masjid al-Aqsa, became a symbol of divine connection and proximity to Allah. Construction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The actual construction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque began several years after the night journey and ascension, during the reign of the Umayyad Caliph Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan. Abd al-Malik was a prominent ruler of the Umayyad Caliphate, which had its capital in Damascus. Under his leadership, Islamic architecture flourished, and he sought to establish Jerusalem as a center of Islamic power and culture. In 688 CE, Abd al-Malik initiated the construction of the Dome of the Rock, Qubbat al-Sakra, on the site believed to be where the Prophet Muhammad ascended to the heavens during the Miraj. This iconic structure, with its golden dome and intricate mosaics, remains one of the most recognizable landmarks in Jerusalem. Adjacent to the Dome of the Rock, Abd al-Malik also began the construction of what would become the Al-Aqsa Mosque. This mosque was built on the southern end of the Haram al-Sharif, incorporating elements of early Islamic architecture. The project was completed in 705 CE, during the caliphate of Abd al-Malik's son, Al-Walid I. Architecture and features. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, as it stands today, reflects centuries of architectural evolution and historical changes. Its design combines elements of early Islamic architecture with later additions and renovations. The original structure built by Abd al-Malik featured a simple layout with a prayer hall, courtyard, and a wooden roof. Over the centuries, various rulers and dynasties made additions and modifications to the mosque. During the Fatimid period in the 11th century, the mosque underwent significant renovations, including the addition of new minarets and the expansion of the prayer hall. The Crusaders, who captured Jerusalem in 1099, converted the mosque into a church known as the Temple of Solomon and made alterations to its structure. After the defeat of the Crusaders by Salah ad-Din, Saladin, In 1187, the mosque was restored to its original function as a Muslim place of worship. Salah ad-Din's successors, particularly the Mamluks, continued to make enhancements to the mosque, adding minarets, domes, and intricate decorations. Ottoman era and modern developments. The Ottoman Empire, which ruled over Jerusalem from the 16th to the early 20th century, left a significant mark on the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Ottoman sultans, including Suleiman the Magnificent, oversaw further renovations and expansions. The distinctive minaret known as the Minaret of the Clock was added during the Ottoman period. During the 19th and 20th centuries, as Jerusalem came under British control following World War I, the Al-Aqsa Mosque faced various challenges. Tensions between Muslim and Jewish communities in the region escalated, leading to periods of unrest and conflict. Following the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, Jerusalem was divided between Jordanian control in the east, including the Old City and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and Israeli control in the west. The mosque continued to be a focal point of religious and political significance, especially during the Arab-Israeli conflicts. Modern era and challenges. In 1967, during the Six-Day War, Israeli forces captured East Jerusalem, including the Old City and the Haram al-Sharif. This event marked a significant turning point for the Al-Aqsa Mosque and its surroundings. Under Israeli control, the Jerusalem Islamic Waqf, an Islamic religious trust, manages the day-to-day affairs of the Haram al-Sharif, including the Al-Aqsa Mosque. However, the status of Jerusalem, particularly the Old City and its holy sites, remains one of the most contentious issues in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The Al-Aqsa Mosque has been a site of clashes and tensions between Palestinian worshippers and Israeli security forces, often sparked by political developments and perceived threats to the status quo. Efforts to preserve the Al-Aqsa Mosque and its historical significance continue, with restoration projects and conservation efforts taking place under the supervision of the Jerusalem Islamic Waqf. Despite the challenges and conflicts that have marked its history, the Al-Aqsa Mosque remains a symbol of resilience, faith, and the enduring connection between Islam and Jerusalem. Conclusion. The history of the Al-Aqsa Mosque is a testament to the intertwined nature of religion, politics, and culture in the region. From its origins in early Islamic